All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I'm going to play you a little clip that I played last night about Private LaVena Johnson. It's only a few minutes long. To the listeners that heard it last night, if you don't want to hear it again, feel free to turn it down. But I'll sit and scream it, from bullhorns as many times as I have to, for even if I only get one new person introduced to it. It's important that everybody find out about these instances of rape, and LaVena Johnson's case is something that I feel needs to have spotlight brought back on it, because I don't know if they've ever actually figured it out. If they might have, but from what I can tell, they still haven't figured out exactly who did it. I know that there was somebody at different people, different blogs, different reports, alternative news media, investigative reports had said that there's links or evidence that it was a Blackwater agent, which is just, anybody with half a brain can listen to what happened, and you could tell that's pretty much probably what happened, was that a private contractor did it. But let me play the clip for you. It's from a local news station, and this was about 2007. And this was 2 years after the fact already. So she was killed, and I think it was 2005 when she was killed. But this is a news story about Private LaVena Johnson, who now actually was posthumously promoted to Private First Class, so we should call her by what she is now. So let's call her Private First Class LaVena Johnson. Here's a little bit about her story.
LaVena Johnson is clouded in controversy and allegations of a cover-up. News 4's Matt Cesney was there as investigators exhumed the body of Private Johnson and conducted a new autopsy.
For almost 2 years, Private LaVena Johnson's body has been at Jefferson Barracks Cemetery. Her family, believing some secret about her death, is still there, waiting to be found.
I'm not going to stop until my daughter's name's cleared.
It was an April morning when workers exhumed Johnson's casket at Jefferson Barracks to continue the search for answers. Answers different from the ones Johnson's family has been getting from the military. 19-year-old LaVena died in July of 2005 at a base in Iraq. The Army determining Johnson killed herself with a single gunshot. But the more they looked into her death, the more doubts that were raised. Military documents showing her state of mind is happy and healthy. No bullet found in the tent where she died. A possible trail of blood near the tent. And evidence that someone tried to set the tent on fire.
But you come to my front door and you make a serious allegation about my daughter, and that put me on alert that something was wrong.
So they said that she killed herself. So she smashed herself in the face, broke her own nose, hit herself so hard that she knocked her own teeth back. You know how hard you have to do that? You know how painful it is? It's not easy to do to yourself, okay? You'd really have to, be masochistic or messed up in the head to be able to pull that off. So smashes her own face in so hard she breaks her own nose, pushes her teeth back, bruises, I guess slight lacerations to her body, shoots herself in the head with her gun while she's on the ground, shoots herself in the head with a gun that's next to her, positioned next to her perfectly. And I guess after she shoots herself in the head, she's not dead yet, and decides to try to light her tent on fire. And I may add, I don't remember if they said it yet, but you'll hear it. Somebody poured lye into her vagina. Now, why would they do that? Because it would cover up the semen and any other epithelial cells that the guy might have shedded during the he might have shed during the attack. So to destroy the DNA evidence, you'd put the lye in there. It would completely destroy everything. And there were cuts to her vagina as well, post-mortem. So what do you call it? Genital mutilation. But she did this to herself. She committed suicide. Remember, that's what the Army said. She committed suicide.
And so I just made a determination that me and my family was going to work until we found out what that was. And
their determination led them to this: a single salute from her father, himself a veteran, and then Johnson's body taken to a private autopsy. An autopsy News 4's camera was permitted to view.
Johnson LaVena L.,
St. Louis Chief Medical Examiner Dr. Michael Graham led the autopsy along with St. Louis County Medical Examiner Dr. Mary Case. The team spending 3 hours examining Johnson's body, taking samples, photographs, and using their forensic skills to look for any clues.
And then there's some discoloration right along here on. Okay, got it? Okay.
At least for now, experts are calling the results inconclusive and are looking for more information on Johnson's weapon, fueling new speculation whether it could have been used in her death. It is all part of the family's search to try and find out what happened. And the message is now reaching to Congress, with support coming from the House and Senate.
We've got to find the truth about what happened to this young lady. Her family deserves that at a minimum. And we need to know in terms of keeping the armed services accountable.
The story of Johnson's suicide doesn't add up to her friends in North St. Louis County, who describe a 19-year-old who seemed happy to be in the military.
She was very optimistic about, you know, the whole military experience and going off to college, and no.
And so therefore you believe there's something more to the story than I guess.
Absolutely, there is. Because the person that they're describing, you know, that's not the LaVena that I know.
It is a mystery that for now still is a mystery.
We're a strong family, we're a close family, and that's helped a lot.
Do you feel like you're getting closer to the truth?
Absolutely. I do.
As painful as the exhumation was, the Johnson family believes it was necessary and will continue to stay in contact with the Johnson family on final results of the private autopsy. Also, members of a House committee, including Congressman Lacy Clay, are waiting on a request for the Pentagon to hand over all the documents, photos, and names in the Johnson investigation in Iraq. So this is a story we continue to follow. Matt Cesney, News 4, St. Louis.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Now that's just a little bit on the story of PFC LaVena Johnson. Now, what I would like you to do is take this information and run with it. Do some homework. Do some research. Put a video together. I know there's some pretty good video editors out there that listen to my show. It's not that hard. Any of us can do it. So go out there, and I want you guys to put a video together and do me the favor, okay, if not anybody else. Do me the favor, okay? If not, PFC LaVena Johnson. And just put a video together with some updated information about her case, regardless if it's good or bad, because this hasn't been updated in years, and nobody, I guess, you know, it kind of fell by the wayside, cold case, I guess, and nobody really knows anything. And I would investigate it myself, but I don't have time. So if somebody goes, I'll even sweeten the pot. If somebody goes to the length of putting together something really informative and you upload it to your YouTube channel, no matter how long it is, send me the link and I'll make a whole page about it. And, you know, we can write an article or do something special. And I'll hook you up with a federaljack.com t-shirt. I don't have many extra larges left. I only have a few, but I have a bunch of larges and mediums and some only a few smalls left. If you're anywhere near the chat room, look in the chat. I'll drop the pictures in again. But in the beginning of the show, there were 2 pictures in there, front and back of the T-shirts. Or you can go to our fan page on Facebook, FedJack, F-E-D space J-A-C-K, FedJack. Look up the fan page. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And I'm serious about what I said. I'm completely dead serious. You may put together a good video. You can use the old footage and stuff, like I said, because if you have an account that you can upload over 15 minutes, just upload it to your accounts. Shoot me a link, whatever. If you have a description, whatever, we could work on an article together. We'll make it go viral. We'll get it a ton of exposure. And if you really put some effort into it and we help try to at least update this girl's story at the very least, if not, maybe we could try to bring her some justice. And I should actually call her a soldier and give her the respect she's due. But if we can try to, if justice was brought to her, and we can bring that to the public, that's fine. If we can just update the story, or if somebody out there actually has something real, you know, if they're, you know, I doubt that they would send me breaking information. But even if you did, if you knew something, you could always send us that, and you know, if you wanted to talk about it or whatever. Anyway. if you make a good video and you put updated information as to what happened, not only will I publicize it, but we'll talk off air, obviously, and I will send you a free federaljack.com T-shirt for your efforts and for doing this. And if you actually go above and beyond with the depth of your research, I guess, and you, depending on what you find out, we can even maybe make a show out of it, or half a show, maybe come on for a half hour or an hour, and you'd even be able to plug your own YouTube channel and stuff. So if you're an independent researcher, this is a serious, serious call to action. I don't have the time to do it. I run Federal Jack myself. I do all my own production work with the radio show. I just don't have the time, ladies and gentlemen. I can't do everything myself. And it's hard to get somebody to try to be your assistant for free. I've tried for the past, 2 years. And it's really hard to get people that are serious. I have over 6,000 subscribers to on our fan page, and I'll get 2 or 3 people that are serious about helping out when I put a call to action. Hey, we need this, we need that. It's really hard, and I'm not ragging on anybody. I know times are tough for everybody. So the independent researchers that are out there, do me the favor. Do her the honor. Let's try to, at the very least, bring her story to shed some more light on it and at least update it, at the very least, if that's all we can do. If justice was brought and we can expose the person that did it and the guy's still alive, personally I think it was probably a Blackwater or whatever, Triple Canopy, whatever the hell other contractor they had over there. But if we can at least update her story and put a good video together about it, getting her information out there and telling her story, let's at least shed some light on it at the very least, if nothing else. And I'm not asking for any promotion of myself either. You don't have to put, Popeye, Down the Rabbit Hole, Federal Jack, none of that. You don't have to mention Orion Talk Radio in there. This is about her. This isn't about me. But I can afford to give you a T-shirt. I mean, it's not much, but it's all I have, so take it or leave it. Anyway, run with it. There's thousands of you that listen to the broadcast weekly. So take the idea and run with it, please. We need more people to step up. Listen to what happened, and you could tell that's pretty much probably what happened, was that a private contractor did it. But let me play the clip for you. It's from a local news station, and this was about 2007. And this was 2 years after the fact already. So she was killed, and I think it was 2005 when she was killed. But this is a news story about Private LaVena Johnson. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I'm going to play you a little clip that I played last night about Private LaVena Johnson. It's only a few minutes long. To the listeners that heard it last night, if you don't want to hear it again, feel free to turn it down. But I'll sit, and I don't know if they've ever actually figured it out. If they might have, but from what I can tell, they still haven't figured out exactly who did it. I know that there was somebody at different people, different blogs, different reports, alternative news media, investigative reports had said that there's links or evidence that it was a Blackwater agent, which is just, anybody with half a brain can and scream it, from bullhorns as many times as I have to, for even if I only get one new person introduced to it. It's important that everybody find out about these instances of rape, and LaVena Johnson's case is something that I feel needs to have spotlight brought back on it, because who now actually was posthumously promoted to private first class, so we should call her by what she is now. So let's call her Private First Class LaVena Johnson. Here's a little bit about her story.
LaVena Johnson is clouded in controversy and allegations of a cover-up. News 4's Matt Cesney was there as investigators exhumed the body of Private Johnson and conducted a new autopsy.
For almost 2 years, Private LaVena